a part of the Bible called the Sermon on the Mount in the book of Matthew. And Jesus was speaking to his disciples and all his followers, right? And he had told them they the salt and light of the world. And salt, how we look at it today, we just look at it as seasoning to make our food more flavorful and taste better. But salt, a lot of times, was used back then to preserve things and to stop decay. To preserve things and stop decay, right? And so salt is a powerful thing. You could put a little bit of salt in food and it'll change the whole flavor of it. You could put salt on an icy road and it would clear the road for you to be able to drive. So salt is a powerful thing, right? And so he said, we the salt and light of the world, meaning it's situations that decaying that we need to be the salt in. It's dull situations or bad situations that we need to be the salt in. It only take a little bit of salt. And so I found myself complaining about, God, why I gotta be here? I don't want to be here. They act this certain way. I need to be somewhere else. And then I had to realize we are the salt. We are here to change this situation. We are here to make the situation better. What good is salt being around other salt inside the salt shaker? That ain't your purpose just to be in a salt shaker. Your purpose is to be sprinkled around to change atmospheres, to change flavors, to change society, to change community. So it's all bad here and it needs salt. It just needs a little bit of salt in that bad situation to change it. So I cannot ask God to use me, and then when he want to sprinkle me as the salt of the world, now I complain about why you putting me here. No, God using you. He using you to bring a difference in that area. And that's what he meant by we are the salt and light of the world. For real. I was reading this book called The Bait of Satan. And in the book, it was talking about how we allow ourselves to be offended and make a decision that would change our life for the worse. A lot of times we'll be offended and we will make a permanent decision over a temporary circumstance. And so we'll walk out on a situation that God put us in because we offended. We offended. We'll go to a church and the pastor say one thing we don't like and we offended. We offended over another member and now we leave that church. We'll break off a marriage, a friendship, a partnership, a situation over something because we offended, and we will walk out on something we could have fixed just because we offended. And so we have to allow ourselves to not let offense stop us from being the best version of ourselves or quitting the situation just because we offended. We can't help how we feel. We might feel offended, but sometimes we need to pray on it, give it a day, or have a conversation just to see things from another perspective, because what we think, how we feel might not be right all the time, and we have to see it from that person's perspective and not be offended and quit a situation that God wants us to be in. And so we allow offense to stop us from being the best version of ourselves and leaving the place that God planted us at for real. Thing I learned, and I learned this the hard way, a good attitude is one of the most important things we could have in life, because our success is tied to people. It's a person who gonna open up a door for you. It's a person who gonna give you a job. It's a person who gonna give you a platform. It's a person who gonna buy your product. It's a person who gonna draft you to the NBA or NFL. And if you not likable, if you got a bad attitude, you hard to deal with. People will deal with somebody less talented and easier to deal with than the talented person who know everything, argumentative, always drama, or just a negative person. So we have to watch our body language, watch our attitude. I tell my basketball team this all the time. I done seen a good basketball player get scouted. The scout come to his game. The coach take him out. He go to stomp and the coach try to talk to him. He yank away from the coach. Man, they took that scholarship off the table, because I'm not about to bring you into my program, because that is an investment. And if you mess up, if you do something crazy on campus, that come back to me. I'd rather coach a kid with less talented and have less stress and less of a headache, because we all have to go home and enjoy our life. Nobody want a stressful workplace. And if I deal you in and you hard to deal with, that's on my mind, on my spirit, and it's making my day worse. So I'd rather deal with a person who coachable and with a better attitude to deal with this know-it-all talented person. So our attitude play a big part of our success in life for real. Thing I learned this the hard way. Whatever we do, we will get back. Scripture teaches us we will reap everything we sow, and everything we do is a seed. Scripture teaches us give and it will be given to you, but we don't believe that because the person we gave to ain't gonna give us nothing back. We looked out for people in their time of need, and when it's our time, we don't get nothing back. But how this world works, we will receive when we least suspect it from somebody we least suspect it from. We don't get away with anything because everything we do, we will get back. When we judge, we will be judged. We think we could criticize, tear down people, and walk away scot-free? Nah, that harvest just ain't came yet. Pretty soon, a year later, we do something good or somebody just make up something about us, and now everybody tearing us down, and we like, damn, why? All these people I looked out for, all the good stuff I did, they just haters. Nah, you sowed those seeds. Now it's time to reap your harvest. We don't get away with nothing. Everything we do is a seed, and scripture teaches us we reap everything we sow. For real. Scripture teaches us for the love of money is the root of all evil. Even songs back in the day, for the love of money, people will rob their own brother. But in the ghetto, in the slums, in our community, for the love of attention, for the love of stripes, for the love of clout is the root of all evil. It's people doing 100 years right now to get their name known, to earn some stripes, to get respect. It's people laying in the graveyard right now trying to earn stripes, get their name known, earn clout, get respect. It's people right now running people's name through the mud on Facebook, doing all kind of crazy stuff online just for attention, just for likes. People would sell their soul for an Instagram like, a Facebook like, or a YouTube view. So you gotta beware of a person that would do anything for attention. You would let that person in your inner circle and they air out all your dirty laundry, make up lies on you just to get that 5 minutes of fame and get 1,000 likes on Facebook. Don't deal with that person who do anything for street cred because they will kill you just to get their name known. They'll risk their freedom and risk your freedom just to get their name known. So you gotta beware of that person who do anything for attention, because in our community, for the love of attention is the root of all evil, for real. One conversation could fix everything. One conversation could stop a war. One conversation could save a friendship. One conversation could save a marriage. But too many times we think people should read our mind like you should just know. Or we got this peanut brain mentality as men like, man, we need to fight. We need to hit. Stephen A. Smith talking about he had swung on LeBron James. We 40 and 50 years old. We got squirrel brains. If we out here can't resolve stuff by a conversation, we still got to throw fists, shoot, kill, argue. Man, come on, bro. One conversation could change everything. How do the kids supposed to look at us if we 40 talking about let's have a friendly fade or let's go in the back and fight? These teeth not growing back. These bones don't heal as fast. We grown men. We need to conversate like men. If we can't agree, guess what? Man, you know what? I see your point of view, but I just disagree. I can't make sense to somebody who don't want to be made sense to, so I'm going to just leave it alone, bro. We ain't got to argue. We ain't got to fight. We just disagree. You got your opinion. I got mine. We could leave it at that. We ain't got to fight. We ain't got to argue, and we ain't got to kill. As grown men, we need to have a conversation, and if that conversation don't go nowhere, you know what, bro? You right. I'm out. Be respectful. Treat a homeless man with the same respect you would treat a billionaire. You would treat Steve Urkel or somebody weaker than you physically with the same respect you would treat a heavyweight champion in the world. You treat a Tim at your job with the same respect you would treat your supervisor or your owner. It ain't nothing you do, it's who you are. Be respect, and you won't have to pick and choose who you respect, and that is a man. If we lead with love and respect, the world will be a way better place. You won't have so many problems if you just be respectful. A lot of people die, a lot of people kill every day over feeling disrespected. People break up marriages and friendship because somebody feel disrespected. So if we lead with respect and don't match energy, just because you acting like that, I ain't got to act like that. You being disrespectful, I'm not going to match energy and be disrespectful because it ain't something I do. It's my lifestyle. It's who I am. So if you disrespectful, man, I got to go the other way. And then you never know who you might need in the long run. You don't know what this person could become. And they remember when you disrespected them when they down here, now you need them when they up there and they won't even help you out because you was disrespectful. And so let's don't turn respect on and off. We have to be respectful at all times, for real. Can't change nothing in our own life if we don't be totally self-accountable. The moment we blame that person, the moment we blame him, she, or they, we take ourselves off the hook for the mess created, and we won't acknowledge it, so we can't make a change because we gave everybody else the power. But the moment we look in the mirror and say, I'm sick and tired of my BS, I need to change, I need to self-correct, that's the moment we can grow and correct our BS because we acknowledged it. But the moment we keep pointing fingers, we can't change nothing in our life. It all starts with being self-accountable, for real. One thing I learned this the hard way. We have to be correctable. Sometimes we might need guidance or help from people who won't offer a helping hand because they don't believe you correctable. They offered you correction, they offered you help, they offered you advice, and you went back and forth and made every weak weasel excuse with no accountability. So they put in their mind, I could watch this person walk off a cliff and I won't even say, hey, it's a cliff over there. They'll watch you fall. They'll see you going the wrong way and won't offer any correction because that's your life. I ain't got to waste no time or energy going back and forth trying to help somebody who don't want to be helped. Can't change nothing in our own life if we don't be totally self-accountable. The moment we blame that person, the moment we blame him, she, or they, we take ourselves off the hook for the mess created, and we won't acknowledge it, so we can't make a change because we gave everybody else the power. But the moment we look in the mirror and say, I'm sick and tired of my BS, I need to change, I need to self-correct, that's the moment we can grow and correct our BS because we acknowledged it. But the moment we keep pointing fingers, we can't change nothing in our life. It all starts with being self-accountable, for real. One thing I learned this the hard way. We have to be correctable. Sometimes we might need guidance or help from people who won't offer a helping hand because they don't believe you correctable. They offered you correction, they offered you help, they offered you advice, and you went back and forth and made every weak weasel excuse with no accountability. So they put in their mind, I could watch this person walk off a cliff and I won't even say, hey, it's a cliff over there. They'll watch you fall. They'll see you going the wrong way and won't offer any correction because that's your life. I ain't got to waste no time or energy going back and forth trying to help somebody who don't want to be helped. I was listening to Darius Daniels, and Darius Daniels said the issue ain't always what we looking at, is how we looking at it. Some stuff we see as a problem, we should be looking at it as our purpose. Too many times we think things are happening to us and it's actually happening for us. We go through trials, tribulations, losses, setbacks, and hard times because it gives us empathy. It produces a purpose in our life. It gives us wisdom. So when we go through those things and we come through it and get out of it, we could help other people. And now we could serve our people and walk in our God-given purpose because we learned lessons in those trials and tribulations. So it didn't happen to us, it happened for us, because if it didn't happen to us, we couldn't have the experience to help other people. And when we help other people, that's when we walking in our God-given purpose. But we can't do that if we looking at it as a problem and not purpose, for real. Too many times we allow the same flame to burn us twice. When a person show you who they are, you have to believe them. But too many times we think we could change a person. I'm going to show them more love. I'm going to give them more money. And they do the same thing over and over. We can't change nothing in our life till we sick and tired of our own BS. If we think the BS we doing is cool, ain't nothing nobody else could do about it because it's an inside job. And too many times we try to change people who got their mind made up. They don't want to be changed. So we can't allow the same flame to burn us twice, for real. We got to be careful how we treat people. We never know who we need. We never know how the roles might reverse. I done seen people who was on top disrespect people who they feel was beneath them. And then the roles reverse. And now that person need that person and they remember how bad that person treated them and they close every door. Matter of fact, they in positions of power now. They got powerful friends. And that person who was on top, who fell off, they going to this person, that person trying to get a helping hand, and that person who on top now, who got disrespected when they was down low, they talk to all their friends like, man, don't help that person. Don't deal with that person. This person is like this. And now all the doors been closed to that person. And now I'm blackballed. They gatekeeping. And the whole time we treated people unfairly when we was in a position of power. So we gotta be careful how we treat people, for real. I say always be grateful. Always keep an attitude of gratitude. Always say thank you and show your appreciation to anybody who helped you, no matter how small the gesture is. Because when you show that attitude of gratitude and show that you're grateful and appreciative, people will want to help you more. Take yourself, for example. When you give to somebody or help somebody and they don't say thank you or appreciate it, man, you don't want to help them again. But when you help somebody and they just show their appreciation, you want to help them more. And that's just like everybody else. So if you want more help, you want more opportunities, always be grateful for what somebody do for you, because they will want to do it again. Always have an attitude of gratitude and never had a sense of entitlement, for real. To be correctable and take self-accountability for our own BS. A lot of times we blame everybody else for the position we in. We blame everybody else for the mistakes we made. And we just can't never change because it's always somebody's fault. But until we look in the mirror and be like, man, I need to self-correct, we can't change nothing. And too many times we do it our way when somebody offering correction, and we just get ourselves in a whole bunch of BS over and over again. And now when the BS is piled to the ceiling, now we run to somebody like, help me, help me, help me. And that person like, man, I told you, I tried to help you. Now you want me to waste all my time and energy try to help somebody who denied my helping hand? No, figure it out on your own. And now you mad and bitter at the world. And so we have to accept correction and be totally self-accountable for real. One thing I learned, it be the ugliest part of our story that be the most powerful part of our testimony. God used flawed people, but a lot of times we try to hide our flaws, we try to hide our mistakes and put on this perfect image. God used people who made mistakes. Moses was a murderer. King David was a murderer. Malcolm X was a pimp, a drug addict, and he used all those people to do great things on this earth. Nothing happened to us, it happened for us. So all our mistakes, we cannot waste that, covering it up, trying to act like we perfect, because God will use that to move us into our God-given purpose to help serve other people so they don't have to go through what we've been through, or so when they go through that, how to get through that. But we cannot help people with this fake, perfect image. So our flaws, a lot of times, is what God used to push us into our God-given purpose for